Welcome to the NFT Callers show, presented by the Fertile Guppies. I'm Mikal, and every week I'm joined by some of the top NFT callers in the game who are profiting in this market and putting it all out there for you guys to win. We discuss new projects that are dropping in the week, keep track of our calls, and report out on the results. Choose to buy with us, or just choose to chill on the sidelines and see how we do it. We produce our content once a week, and as you know, the NFT market is changing by the minute. So if you want updates on the projects called today, join the Fertile Guppies on Discord and drop our guys a line. All right, let's see what calls we have this week. And we're back. And today I've got, my name is Green, and I've got another friend of the Fertile Guppies, Legato, with us.
Hey.
Legato, man. We've been talking for a little bit. Legato is the founder of Omega Alpha. And has been a long-time friend of the Guppies. So great to have you here, man.
Happy to be here.
So for those of you who might not know you, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit? Tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey into crypto and NFTs.
Sure, I can give the. I'm a talker, so I'll try my best to give the quick TLDR version. But I'm Legato or Matt. You know, I'm doxxed, but most people know me as that name. I'm the founder of Omega Alpha, which is an alpha group we formed back in December of 2021. Minted our first NFT, the Omega Alpha Pass, in April of 2022, and then recently did Omega Orcs, which was a free mint, kind of like the free / inexpensive way to get involved. But I've been in NFTs since, I guess I started like the middle of 2021, give or take, which in NFT terms is like 18 years, right?
Yeah.
But I started with I joined Dante Walker's group, DWC, the YouTuber. I'm actually on his core team now still. But yeah, I've gone through like, I started with crypto a little bit, but NFTs really caught my eye. I like I think the technology behind NFTs is really insane. Like the future is very bright for Web3. And then also as far as, flipping and making money, I am literally the equivalent of a day trader in NFTs. I hold almost nothing, very, very few NFTs. I am heartless and shameless, and I will sell anything. So that's why I'm here.
Well, that's good, man. A lot of the people listening just want to make some quick cash. Now, I definitely have my few NFTs I like to hold.
Sure.
But no, for real, most people are in this to make a buck for sure, and just enjoy the ride as we go through it. So hey, that's great. And if anybody's looking for some more information on Omega Alpha, you can check the show notes below. There'll be a link to their Twitter, and Discord is private. Is it?
Yeah, it's public. I mean, it is private for holders only. You can get in there and learn about Omega Alpha, see the giveaways, and we have like links to like the Omega Alpha YouTube channel on our site, and like you're gonna learn all about the benefits and everything. But the actual utility and whitelists and everything like that is private. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. I'd encourage everybody to check it out. Legato's is a real good guy, and I've enjoyed our conversation so far. So thanks for coming on. Looking forward to seeing what you're going to share today, man.
Thanks for having me.
And Green, how you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Doing very good. How are you?
Not too bad. We got some snow up here in Canada, to be expected. I live up here in the Great White North, so we got to bear with the winter,
Yeah.
But let's heat it up a little bit, and let's start talking about how things have gone. So unfortunately, we don't have results to talk about right now for the two projects that were called. Last week we called the Beacon, which is it's a game project, and you have Odeus, which is it's a Magna base art project. And you know what? Before we get too far into talking about what the cumulative profits are so far, I figured I'd turn it over to you, Green, and just considering these projects are still on the go, is there any sort of updates that you'd want to let people know about for these projects?
Yeah, sure. We can start with the Beacon. We don't have a lot, but we have some kind of small trailer which I can show. I don't know if you switch to my screen.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, like these are all the profiles at the moment. So this will be your room on the game, and these are all stuff that you can get on the marketplace over here. As you can see, here are all the listings with tokens you can get in the game. You can earn them there, or you can just like pay them with USD. So you can like make your room different. This is my room. I didn't do anything yet, but yeah, this is how it works, and yeah, it looks clean. It plays smooth, not any lag or something. Yeah, as you can see, I'm whitelisted. So yeah, and if we check the Discord, there's nothing much going on at the moment. They are really preparing for the mint tomorrow. They will have a tournament with 16 people uh, where you can eliminate each other in game. So that's dope, and then you can win prizes and all those kind of stuff. So that's dope. Yeah, so far the beacon. I can also take a look at all these real quick because the public auction just opened for like 4 hours now. Uh,
Oh wow.
yeah, I can refresh quickly. Like, yeah, it's hard to say something. It's nice to see a bit of 2.1 ETH, but yeah, we have a name, but besides that, you don't really know anything. But it's good for a project to already have like a lot of bits. We can scroll all the way down to here, and we see that the current main price is 0.05, which is quite all right. And if you have whitelist, I think you can make a good flip about this one.
Wow, it seems like there's got some momentum going here. It's
Yeah,
pretty exciting.
and it's still 43 hours left. So yeah, now already 2.1 ETH is it's quite good.
All right, so yeah, go ahead, Legato.
I was going to say I agree with both of those projects. I think both of them have a really good chance of doing good, especially like Beacon. I'm also whitelisted. I have a couple founding characters. You know, as far as Arbitrum goes in these P2E games, Beacon is the first game I've played that I actually like and enjoy. Like it's actually pretty fun, you know.
Yeah,
Um, and like I'm all in on it. I actually bought they were doing like each week they'll do legendary items which aren't, they don't get dropped in loot anymore after that week. I think the first week was the Legionnaire set, the second week was like Night Stalker or something. So I actually went on there and I bought some of those legendary set items, and I'm just gonna like hold it and see if I, because like the first week ones have gone up, right? So I'm gonna play that game a little bit. Because I think like Beacon and the recent pump that Magic had, it's literally because of Beacon and the Tales of Ilaria stuff that's going on. Like that's like Magic like doubled recently, maybe even tripled or something like that. So I think like that project's big enough that you have people that don't even really normally know much about Arbitrum still really interested in it.
yeah, indeed. No, it really got some potential, and I believe like mint price for us as whitelisted people is $80 out of my head, but I'm not sure. So yeah,
Yeah, I think mint price for the pets mint is coming up is like 80. I thought I heard that if you own a founding character and you're whitelisted and you minted it, that price comes off of the mint or goes towards it. I'm not
oh damn,
100% sure though. Um, but it's pretty nuts when you think about it that they had a full-on public mint, no whitelist for their founding characters. All they had was the game itself. And they minted, the last I checked, there's probably more now, but it was like 35,000 or something like that at what was it, zero point zero 0.03 or zero point zero 0.04 ETH.
yeah, something like that. Yeah,
So they
Wow.
raised over 1.5 million US dollars, maybe pushing 2 million on a public unlimited supply mint, which is pretty effing nuts in my opinion. So I'm pretty bullish on this one as well.
Hmm. And they're going. right? And they keep going. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
they keep going. And Old Deus or Old Deuce, however you pronounce it, I also think that's a really good one. The team behind it, I'm personally whitelisted for that, so I'm keeping an eye on how this goes. But I agree. I mean, the trailer that came out recently is awesome. Like the team behind it, like so it definitely has a chance. The whitelist ends up being 70% of whatever the public mint price is at the end. So if it goes well, in theory, you could have a floor that's higher, and then you have the whitelist coming in low. So if you're whitelisted, it can really work out well. But we'll
for
see.
sure.
Mhm.
Is
Yeah.
that
I-
the trailer there at the bottom left? It
Uh,
says play.
yeah. No, it's
Just some music.
yeah.
I'm not sure if it would
It's,
come through well in the video anyways here. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely go
it's a
check
bit
out
tweet.
the website, check out their Twitter.
Okay. Yeah.
So now we have Legato on board too. So now we got
Mhm.
3 calls out for Odeus and Beacon. So yeah, definitely really excited to see how these ones plan out for sure. But we'll quickly digress here. Because I think we have 2 other projects coming up, right? That we
Mhm.
want to talk about. So Green, you're already sharing your screen. I'll let Legato go second.
Yeah, sure.
Why don't we throw up what we're going to be talking about for next week?
Yeah, I got Nano first, the phase two. At least I had that one to like talk about because they should be minting tomorrow or no, next week, next week. But they had a lot of FUD because their main collection was like dropping in price since we got in this whole bear market stuff. And yeah, now they were launching a second collection with a mint price of 0.195, which also caused a lot of FUD, a lot of criticism against the team. And yeah, they were really like done with it. They also say it in the announcement here that it's roughly $250, where they have like a good point. If you are here in the space for like over a year, you probably paid like 0.25 for a mint, which was
Mhm.
like 600-700 dollars. So yeah, they have a really good point in their announcement. They basically like telling to all the people that like funding them, like they have also need to pay like the team, the developers, like the whole ID behind Nanoverse. Also here with some subtweeters, with people who are really on the background but like funding their Twitter with these guys are a cash grab. And also the PXN story, which a lot of people probably know. So yeah, they said we are not going to mint. We are just canceling the whitelist and the public mint from the Nano phase 2. Only the holders of the Nano phase 1 can claim their NFT, and I don't think they need to pay. They are not talking about it in this announcement. But yeah, they just literally said like "f you" and we will build with the community we have, and we will just only focus on that, just to like show they are not cash grabbers, and yeah, they want to build with the real holders. So yeah,
So their plan is to allow some of the original holders to mint the new one
yeah.
and not have a public sale for the rest of it.
Yeah, indeed. If you hold just a nano first phase one,
Hmm.
then you can like mint one or claim one, but it will not be a public, not be a whitelist. They are not able to let new people in or people who can make a flip. It will just be if you want one, buy our old collection, and then you are able to like get one.
It's a pretty good way to say "f you" to everybody.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I
they
don't blame them, man. They got so much fun. Like maybe some kind of things are like how do you say it? It's logical that people say that because a mint price of 0.195 is it's high for this market, but with ETH coming down to like 1200. It's not that crazy, so I see where they come from, but yeah, it has two sides, so yeah.
And that's something that I know Legato knows this. Myself as a founder of the Fertile Guppies, and Legato is a founder of Omega Alpha. Things still cost money, right? And
Yeah.
a lot of the expenses that we have are paid in US dollars. So if the value of ETH goes down, we're still paying the same amount of money to get stuff done.
Yeah.
So I understand. I do get it. I do get it. What do you think about this, Legato?
Well, so I was whitelisted for Nano too, and I had no idea until right now. Did they just come out with this in the last 24 hours? They didn't put it on Twitter yet? I missed it.
Nah, yeah, it was for me like this morning, like 8 hours ago.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. And honestly, like, I didn't think it was going to do well anyway because,
Mhm.
you're right. You had for 0.195 when their Genesis collection isn't much higher. PXN got a ton of FUD.
Yeah.
Just like overall, like, and then you're going to give 5,555 to holders. Like, look, what's a 0.48, right? Is the floor on OpenSea?
Yeah.
Like for a Gen 2 to have a 50% mint price as a Gen 1, I mean, historically, that doesn't go very well. Like, definitely, I mean, look at Gojira Gen 1 and 2. Look at, any Gen 1 and Gen 2, right? Like, it's very rare that the Gen 2 is that high in comparison. Even if it's not a fair comparison, that's what people look at. And if you were going to dump 5,000 free ones afterwards, it would crash the floor like it always does. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Facts.
don't know. I don't. I'm surprised they canceled it completely like that. But um, I don't think it would have went well if they continued what they were doing. So
Nah,
I guess
same.
I don't fault them for that.
Yeah, but I think they maybe like knew that the project will be hard to like sell out also with the old FUD that they had now. So I just think like this is the way they say like yeah, if we don't mint, we just do it for our holders, and they also saved themselves a little bit with that move, I think. And I mean, after the announcement, the sales went, it was selling since
Yeah,
like
it was
ages.
lower. I thought the floor was lower, to
Yeah,
be honest. So that
yeah,
probably, you're right. Look at that 7 hours
here
ago.
here
It
they
went up like
announced it, and
25%.
yeah, yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, it's a really good move in my opinion for like the holders, and if you were quick to like snatch one off the floor for point 0.3, yeah, it's dope.
So this
Yeah,
collection was created in December of 2021,
yeah,
and the total
Yeah.
volume on secondary is only 17 ETH.
17,000.
Oh,
17,000. Yeah,
It is
yeah,
17,000.
yeah.
ridiculous. Yeah, this was
Nah,
That's what. Yeah,
I
that's
remember
what I
being on
was.
voice chat when this thing was minting because a lot of people in my group had it. Not
Yeah,
Omega Alpha,
that's.
but DWC. It was nuts. I mean, it was like 2 ETH
Mhm.
for a while, maybe more
Yeah,
at one point.
yeah, I
yeah.
can't see it on the OpenSea thing. I can maybe uh, search it here quickly. Yeah, then I can see the all-time high probably. Yeah, max. Yeah, this was 8 ETH. That was probably a legendary. Yeah, here 4 ETH, 3.98. Yeah, definitely. And then it dropped. But yeah, that's logical. This even the bear market, and even in the bear market they already had like 2 ETH floor still. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
it is. And I think the other thing too is like a lot of people connect this with PXN, and people will say, "Oh, well, it's a different project," but it's like 80% the same team. Like
Yeah.
it is related. I mean, and look at PXN. Like I remember flipping PXN at like 3 ETH or something like that, and
Mm-hmm.
God knows what PXN's floor is now. Point two, yeah, point two. I
Yeah,
mean,
point two.
because a lot of people that I know, they're like, well, they literally didn't do anything. Like it
Yeah.
was I'll tell you what though, the team behind Nano and PXN, they sure as hell know how to market because like the way they're able to market, generate hype, and like release stuff pre-mint, I mean, they really killed it. I think the
Yeah.
problem was when you have hype so high, like it's hard to actually match that post mint. you know?
It's impossible to. You can't,
Yep.
right? The type of hype that the PXN got, there's no way they could have matched that. That was insane, and that was during things were pretty crazy back then too.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, it's really crazy. So yeah, they just canceled the phase two now and went like, yeah, we just do it for the holders.
So
Uh,
what's the play here? Is it worthwhile looking at secondary and seeing if there's an entry point, or are we just kind of sitting on the sidelines watching this?
like if you really like Nano first, then you could try and throw some wet offers because I don't think this floor will hold because this will end eventually if people are just not interested anymore. So maybe you can snatch one for like point 0.4,
Mhm.
0.42 maybe. Yeah, that could be an entry, but it will be hard because this floor can also drop when holders claimed their like phase two.
So
Yeah.
if you hold a Gen 1, so if you buy a Gen 1 off secondary, will you get a Gen 2?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
For free. Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't buy unless you snipe something low or get a weth offer accepted.
Hmm.
You're right. It's more likely than not this floor is probably going to drop a little because they pretty much just announced that it's a long term hold. And how many people really want to play a game with a long term hold? It could pay off. Like I know their team's super connected with like VCs and stuff like that. You never know, but it's too. I personally wouldn't buy it right now. It's too risky, and the floor will drop just like
Mhm.
when the first black box came out, when NanoPass came out, it was monstrous, and then it dropped once people claimed the boxes. So I wouldn't be surprised if a similar thing here happens too with Gen 2.
Yeah, I agree. I agree for sure. And there are much better plays for now if you look long term. In my opinion, if we like, I have to open here. If we quickly look at Helix, this is a project I really like. They just dropped the land sale. This is their founder pass, which is currently point 0.5 at the moment, but it peaked all the way to like 1 ETH. So that's really dope. Their game is already like not launching, but you can play it and people like it. So that's why it also like keeps his floor. And with
Yeah.
the
The
yeah,
Helix Founder Pass, I minted 4 of those, flipped them, and then bought 5 more at point two, and sold
damn.
them between like point 0.3 and point 0.7. Like Helix is like a consistent has killed it for me. And their land, the only problem with their land, I know you're about to talk about it, is
Hmm.
the supply is 20,000, the mid
Indeed.
price is 0.15, and they've only minted 6,000 so far.
Yeah, no, indeed. This is what we see in here, and the listenings are still quite low. But yeah, the problem is that there are still like 20K supply, and I know 5K will go to the holder. So let's say there's
Yeah.
14K supply left to be minted, and that's 0.15, and that's a lot. I know or I heard in another group they talked in the space about for holders that they can claim 3, but yeah, it will hurt the floor anyway because some people will flip it. So yeah, this will go lower, I think, for
Yeah,
sure.
I mean they killed it with the Founders Pass. Like they did a
Mm-hmm.
great job. They did really good marketing. Like you could literally watch if you look at a chart of the old one, you could time when they did a Twitter announcement, it would bump and then it slowly drift down and then bump. And I was buying it right, like I trying
Yeah.
to catch a dip and it worked. But um, yeah, they're good. The problem is, too, like they're over allocated to hell and back. Like I literally think if I called my mother, she has 3 whitelists for this. Like that's how over allocated the
Yeah.
Helix does it. Now it worked for them with founders, but I just feel like you said it's a lot of money, and the
Yeah.
Helix could definitely surprise us. I think it's definitely worth watching, but
Mm-hmm.
right at this exact moment, I don't know. I probably have 5 whitelists for this right now, and I haven't
Damn.
minted any.
No, and as you can see, like just a second ago, another five gets swept off the floor. But I don't know how long this could hold. The listenings stay low all the time right now, but yeah, there are also like some big holders in it. If we look here, like I saw like the Goblin, if people who hold the Goblin hold already 400 of them. Uh, but yeah, in my opinion, you can like better maybe get the founder pass and like make use of the airdrops that you get, because they already made some airdrops, and I know one hit at like 0.08, so that was quite nice. And yeah, in the long term, it has potential, but yeah, it I would wait with like play secondary right now before the holders get the airdrops or can like claim their lands.
Okay. So we've got Nanoverse, and we're watching on Helix as well at the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah, so both. What are some of the indicators that you'd be looking for, Green, to say, damn, this is a good spot to jump in?
Well, I have seen they dropped back to mint. Like it also happened with the founders pass. They dropped to 0.11 to 0.1, and I think there was one sale under 0.1 then. And also with this one, it drops sometimes, as you can see here, to
Mhm.
0.16, one sale below that, and then like bounces off again. So yeah, a lot of big people are just sniping it off the mint price. But yeah, like I said, how long will we hold this point? We were here steady, and we will probably go back down for now. And I would just wait until the like the holders of the founders pass can like claim their airdrop, or claim the land, and
Mhm.
yeah, try to take one of them, because I think a lot of people will flip one or flip two maybe. So yeah, I would wait till then.
Got it. All right. So wait and see. Wait and
Yeah,
see.
for now, yeah,
All right. Well, thanks, Green, for sharing that.
yeah, no
And
problem.
now we will switch on over to Legato. All right, Legato, you're up, man. What do you got for us?
Cool. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, it's up.
Cool. So yeah, the one I'm looking into next week, if I had to pick one that I think is definitely has a chance to be a real profitable whitelist, and then just a project to watch in general, is Inakatari, Another World. Hopefully, I pronounced that right. Um, I'm a big weeb, so honestly, this kind of stuff usually like I gravitate to it normally. Um, but so this project, it's 2,000 supply, free mint. If you look at their pin tweet, they actually have like the mint schedule and everything. They mint on December 20th, max per wallet 1, which is always a good sign. Again, if someone has a whitelist for this, it's like an absolute no brainer in my opinion. Like, dude, it's totally worth the gamble on the gas. Um, as the whole supply is free. But if you look at the art, like it definitely it kind of catches that, Japanese, Asian, Chinese meta that's going on right now. Anime style is always popular. Kind of reminds me of like, maybe Princess Mononoke, or like, those type of, like that type of art style. Um, it has 72,000 followers as of right now. And at least for me, when I look at a project, I look at how, almost 100 people that I know follow it. So when I just scroll down and kind of I see a lot of Omega Alpha people on here following it. But, when I see collab managers that I've worked with before, or team members, or YouTubers, I mean, Sneaky Ninja Pants is following it, DWC, Astornia, Popeye, Bento Boy, like it doesn't necessarily mean anything. Here's Kovacs, who I know from like CyberKongs and Taiji. Like, sometimes you follow stuff just because you're doing a giveaway for it or something like that. But when I see a lot of people following it, that's usually a sign for me to at least watch it. Again, it's a free mint, so the risk is pretty low. What they're doing is there's not a huge amount of information about it, honestly. If you look at the Twitter engagement, it's pretty decent. Another thing I like to look at is, if you scroll down here, I like to look at who they collabed with. So, for example, They collab with Ear Pits, which I know that Ear Pits doesn't just collab with anybody. They don't like, like Omega Alpha, for example. We'll do like 8,000 whitelists a month. Like it's crazy, right? We don't discriminate. But some projects are very, very, very picky, and Ear Pits is one of them. So if I see Ear Pits worked with those, I see Kaiju Kings worked with them. Who else collabed? Doodoo, which is actually a pretty big. I think the floor is only like 0.03 on Doodoo, but right now, but it's like super popular in the Asian community. It's backed by Doodoo's backed by Baidu, Baidu, which is big into AI and stuff like that. I think they're connected with Crypto Sameji, which was another monster like Asian backed project. Again, Yoga Pets collabed with these guys. Wiko, which is another one that's bigger in like the Asian community. That one minted a little while ago as well. So to me, like just glancing at Twitter, this makes me raise an eyebrow, right? And then I'll look at their website real quick. Again, there's not a ton of information about it, unfortunately, but sometimes in the NFT space, that can be better, right? Like, or at least the flip, right? The hype and anticipation of what's going to happen. But here's the art. There's 4 main characters. Let's see if this thing will load. The vision. I won't read the whole thing, but it's a story based on animation and fantasy. There's these 4 main characters. Let's see if there's anything good on here. I don't think. Community user engagement storytelling. I also think this taps into, like it says here, users can participate in Inakatari storytelling through the community. I think this is a little bit of a kind of meta or trend that we're seeing, or people aren't immediately like poo-pooing on this. Like old Deus is talks about that, like storytelling, community, lore. You see a lot of projects doing that, like Operation Sin from Llama, so I think like this type of community thing is kind of popular. And then if you go in their Discord, again, unfortunately, not a ton of information about it. But they have, the Japanese, Chinese, chats, general, different languages, things like that. There's a lot of fan art. It seems pretty active. So, like I said, there's some people in voice chat. Now, granted, some of these chatters and voice chat people could totally just be paid for fake engagement, just like on Twitter, sometimes the engagement can be real fake. Like when I see this, for example, I see 1,600 retweets, 2,000 likes, and 137 comments. More likely than not, in my opinion, the engagement on this tweet was pushed a little bit, either by Premint or Alphabot, because of that disparity. Sometimes on the other ones, like this one's nuts. Like this one has 4,500 comments. Like I'm sure some of that was pushed for sure, but that's a lot of comments. So, but yeah, so that's the one I have my eye on. Like I said, I know there's not a ton of information on it, but I think risk wise, like if you get that free or get it real low, I think it totally has a chance to just ride all the metas and do well for a flip.
So is there still whitelists available?
So they say that they closed collabs. Omega Alpha actually reached out a couple times. We weren't able to score it with them. I actually did get in a group chat with their founder, but it looks like their collabs are closed. So there might be a few last minute whitelists like on their Discord, for example. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think, unless there's something real last minute, I don't think you're going to see this in like 87 alpha groups shooting out a billion whitelists over the next couple of days. I think we're running near the end.
So this is a secondary play then. So what are you expecting to see on secondary?
So I think with most of these, like on a free mint, you always get that like initial push of people minting. Like I'm pretty sure this 2000 is going to mint out fairly quickly, or it might be something kind of like with Fates, what Fates did yesterday, where they didn't over allocate it to hell and back, so it actually was a slower like process, but because it was so desired, it jumped up. Now Fates went up to like 0.2 at some point, or a little over. I don't have enough information to make any type of bold claim on this one, but I don't see any reason why you wouldn't see this shoot up to like between 0.05 and 0.1 just on the initial hype, assuming that their mint goes well and everything's fine, because people are just going to see this popping up on FOMO bots and like all their tools. You're going to see this Asian mint that's hard to get with a lot of followers, and I think you're going to see people like FOMOing in. So if you can get a last minute whitelist, I think it's 100% win. If you can't, I think if you can get it real cheap, like right off the bat, somebody that lists it low early, I think it's I mean, it's a gamble, but I definitely think it's worth a shot.
So what do you normally do when you're shopping free mints on secondary? What's your tactic?
So when you, as in like, why picking
For a
projects to flip, or do you mean just
No. When you're actually so let's say for this project, right? You say you're going to go in, you're going to try to make a flip on secondary. Like, what's your tactic to go in and get your entry point and your exit point?
So I usually will look at let's see if I can pull this up real quick. I use NFT Nerds. It's my go-to. I mean, obviously, you know, there's a ton of alpha shark. There's so much stuff going on. But I'll just pick a random collection real quick. I know this one minted earlier today. But what I look at mainly is I just try to base everything off of volume, right? Like on when I'm going to buy it. Like, yeah, I can look at this chart, but the big thing I look at is here, where I'm looking at how many sales in the past 10 minutes, hour, and then 1 minute, right? So like on this one, for example, 13 sales in the last 10 minutes. There's 3 transactions pending in the last minute. I can look here and I can see that it's getting action. So what I usually try to do is if I see it getting like a ton of action and then somebody lists low here, maybe I'll try to set the gas settings a little aggressive and jump in. I'm much more of like a on the fly type person. Like if I see, what was a good example? Like Fate yesterday hit like over 0.2 real quick, and then it dropped down and sales lowered. But I started to see like some more pending transactions, so I jumped in, and I actually use that for when I sell. I'm a real big believer in like the momentum, like I don't know if I can find an example on the fly, but like if I see one that has 31 minute pendings and it's like super crazy and super volume, and then all of a sudden that drops considerably and it goes to like 2 pending and the 10 minute, once I see that volume start to fall off, I list right away. Like I'm the type of person, no shame in my game. I'll crash the floor if I want to get out. I don't I'm not the type of person, type of trader that sets a like lists it for late higher than floor and hope it hits it. Like when I hit that list button, I want out. I want to take my profit and get out. So I'm real big on just like looking at the volume at that exact time. It's very rare that I'm not a big secondary person. I'm very conservative. I made a lot of plays with Helix that we talked about before. No, that's the wrong one. That's a fake one, I think. Where's the Helix Genesis? I don't even know. But like, you can also just watch the what's it called? Like the history of something. Like I said, with Helix, it was bouncing back and forth for a while. So when I would see it jumping, let's go back 30 days. Like if you looked at their Twitter and their announcements, you would just see like it would kind of go up and down here consistently. So like when I would see it drop low and I'd keep an eye out and see a tweet and I'd say, all right, well, historically they tweet, and it goes up. They tweet, it goes up, it goes down. They tweet, it goes up, like with their announcements. So then I would try to time on one of those bottoms. But admittedly, I'm not a huge risky secondary person, but that's how I do it.
Well, that's how you get burnt pretty bad. You can really get burnt on secondary.
I'm much more of a whitelist stacker and then make the decision at the time of if I'm flipping it. I do hold some NFTs like that but most of the time I don't. Like if I hold an NFT, it's because I really believe in a project or I really think it's a long-term play or something like that. I don't just randomly hold stuff and hope for the best because you're going to get burned, like you said.
Yep, for sure. Green, what do you think about that, man? Do you have any other different tactics that you use when you go into a free mint and secondary?
I don't really like secondary plays that are free. They can do very well. Don't understand me wrong, but like with the whole how was the name, the
ODS.
samurai thing, the
ODS.
Dory Samurai
Oh,
project that
Oh
pumped
yeah,
and yeah and got some hype. You saw some free mint collections like based on the hype. Also launching like a samurai collection. One pumped to like point 0.2 ETH, and people aped in at that price because they saw like a big pump, and then it went to zero, literally zero. So
yep,
it can go very hard, but with mints uh, like uh, like you just told about, they have some hype, and I really see that one going. Like, can you show the website again from your project? Like, yeah, it looks clean. They have a good following amount, and like projects that are from Asia, you see a lot of sweepers sometimes. Sweepers. So
hmm.
yeah, I really like the art, and if you look to the collab ones, there's effort in like the whole template and the whole picture. So yeah, I think for a free mint and only 2K supply, this one can go very well. And of course, the some Twitter posts are like botted probably. Someone are a little bit pushed maybe with the pre mint, but the engagement is still very good, very solid. So yeah, I think this one can be a very good flip if you are whitelisted. And
And if you're
secondary, yeah, yeah, it will be hard. It will probably have like some good sales, then drop down a little bit,
yeah.
and then yeah, and then I would just look at the charts like you just did, and yeah, see where you see a bounce or a strong support, and try to ape in there, and yeah, get some profits.
yeah, I yeah, for sure. And if you have the opportunity to, if you're already in the Discord, you're working towards a whitelist, just
Hmm.
go hard at it. Hopefully you can
Yeah,
ride it out and get one, or hopefully you're part of a community that was lucky enough to get some whitelists.
yeah, man.
Um, but yeah, no, I think we've got two interesting calls today. Like Nanoverse is more of a just kind of chill and watch what's going on. We talked about Helix as well today, and Inakatari as well. Too. So some interesting projects on the show today. I think that's pretty much it. Do you guys have anything else to add?
Um,
No.
I don't think so. I feel like this week specifically, like yesterday, today, tomorrow, there's a lot of projects that interest me that I'm keeping an eye on. But as far as like, I was trying to look into next week, and there wasn't anything. I mean, in this space, you never know, right? Like it could, you could think something is like absolutely worthless and it kills it. You really just never know. But I was just looking at the Alphabet calendar, and like, there's a couple that I'm looking at, but I don't know. Yeah, this Yee one has been is on the 18th. That's been around
Oh,
for a while. I think they just partnered with Gajira. Like Gajira has some type of equity stake. So I don't know
yeah.
how this is going to go. They do merchandise. They like white label merchandise for projects, but
Yeah, I
anyway,
missed this
yeah.
one. Damn, yeah, this one can do very well. They are building for a long time indeed.
Yeah, they
My
did some merchandise for DWC, Dante Walker's group. I know they did with Gajira. Um
Yeah, also with Sulfurs, my girlfriend has won a T-shirt from it, and the
oh
quality
yeah.
was really good. Yeah,
Yeah, I hear the quality is good. And you know what
yeah.
this looks like? We don't have to, I'm not gonna dive down this rabbit hole right now, but it looks like the Sherbet, if you remember that art, like that
Hmm.
studio, they did Sherbet and like 10 other things. And like to me it feels like oh wait, you can submit here. I might have to do that. I don't know. But they have that exact kind of art style. Like I would bet that it's the same project behind it, but or animation team behind it.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
that's a fake account. Get out of here. But yeah.
could be.
When is Yi minting?
That is minting. I just had it up. So it's minting on the 18th per Alphabot, which is usually right. Look, I actually won a waitlist for that in Gajira. How about that?
Okay.
Where that was a secondary play I did recently. I bought 3 Gajira Gen 2s. I kind of went a little wild. Right when they were talking about all their fusion and stuff coming up. So I just I wanted to gamble on that it's going to go up, and I might fuse one. Like, it's obviously a great group, but I definitely was going to flip, see how that goes. So, but I don't know if they have specific whitelist. Oh wait, here we go. Mint date's December 19th. Mint price of 0.039, but I don't see a date anywhere, at least as of yet.
Yeah, well, you can definitely hit up their Discord and get some more information. Check out their website. Check out their Twitter. A little bit of a bonus call from you today, Legato. It's awesome, man.
Yeah. This one can do very well, man. This one, I have my hopes high for this one.
So why didn't you make this your call then, Green?
Yeah, I missed this one completely.
Come on, man.
I mean, I checked Alphabot and I didn't see it, man. Like, what the hell?
Were you checking with your eyes closed?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, damn. Yeah.
All right.
No, it's good he is here because otherwise I maybe had missed it.
Well, we'll definitely have to invite Legato back onto the show again. This has been a lot of fun, man.
For sure.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. I love talking shop, so I appreciate you guys asking me to come and hang out.
Yeah, awesome. Well, hey, thanks both of you for your time, and looking forward to seeing how these projects do. Well, that's it for today's show. Thanks to our callers for lighting it up. And for more information on the projects we discussed, links to the Discord, Twitter, website, all can be found in the show notes. Most importantly, if you're not yet in the Fertile Guppies Discord, what are you waiting for? Let's freaking go. Your new fam's waiting.